Early stage founders are poor. And I'm not saying this to roast you, I promise. And I also don't just mean poor in terms of cash. That's typically where the first time founder brain goes of like, yeah, of course I don't have any money. This big venture capital firm hasn't given me $1 million. That's actually not what I'm talking about. Of course, cash is always limited in the early days, and even later on. Why do you think these big companies keep raising giant amounts of money? It's because their cash is limited and they want to keep spending and spending. So this idea that you're going to one day have enough cash, more than likely, it's just never going to happen. But there's also all the other ways you can be poor. You can be poor in terms of you haven't established a team culture, poor in terms of time management, poor in terms of relationships, poor in terms of systems and processes that work and are effective across your business. There are so many more ways to be poor than just not having cash. What if you're poor in team, meaning it's just you and nobody else that you really need to actually help move the business forward? You're just, one man on an island. I say all this not to twist the knife too much, but much more of it's important, I think, to recognize and focus on more than just the cash. A lot of founders are so eager and so kind of naturally inclined to just, I have no money. And it's like there's so many other things that are worth looking into and trying to gather resources for. Team, culture, make the habits good, learn how to do the different things that you do well, establish your processes, find the systems that you need. Like, there's so much work that can be done to build up your resources and to make you less poor, as it were. And then from there, you'd be surprised how when you solve problems on one side of the house, the other side tends to work out a little bit better as well. This is an encouragement to focus on more than just the cash, because ultimately it takes way more than cash to see your business to scale.